Hi, and welcome to the wonderful month of December and a wonderful list of recommendations handpicked for you. As we continue to observe this year's 16 days of activism, I highlight a report on accelerating efforts to tackle online and technology-facilitated violence against women and girls. The report focuses on violence against women and girls in digital context and how it escalated during the COVID-19 pandemic when work, education, access to services, and social activities shifted significantly to digital platforms. Online violence against women and girls can take different forms, including stalking and Zoom bombing. The report argues that online violence can be as harmful as offline violence and can have negative effects on the health and well-being of women and girls, as well as serious economic, social, and political impacts. In 14 pages, the brief breaks down the perpetrators of online violence against women and girls and suggests practices to prevent and respond to this form of violence. It also shares applicable laws and regulations, prevention and response platforms, and concludes with recommendations to drive change. Second is the International Labour Organization's Global Wage Report for 2022-2023 that analyzes the impact of recent crises, including the COVID-19 pandemic, on wages and purchasing power across countries and regions. The report finds that for the first time this century, global real wage growth has become negative, while real productivity has continued to grow. It showcases global wage trends in the context of the COVID-19 pandemic and increasing price inflation, wage inequality, and policy responses to the cost of living crisis. Some of the key findings of the report are that lower income earners are the most impacted, and minimum wages and social dialogue are key to maintaining wage workers' living standards. Number 3 is a publication that suggests ways of mobilizing investment towards African climate solutions and argues that scaling climate finance on the continent will require going beyond traditional approaches. It details 4 innovative instruments that have been launched across the continent. These include the first, the Terra Fund for AFR 100, a standardized process to deploy early-stage catalytic finance and technical assistance to spur growth of grassroots innovators operating in the challenging land restoration subsector. 2, the National Climate Finance Initiative, which uses a blend of private equity instrument to target a 20-to-1 private to public finance leverage ratio for its investments in mid-sized climate infrastructure projects. 3, a green student housing portfolio financed by Kenyan real estate developer Akon that encompasses 3 separate capital market instruments to attract a range of investors with different risk profiles. And finally, at 4, a VAWG Africa Energy Fund, which aggregated a diverse portfolio of operating renewable energy assets into Africa's Failed Yieldco, providing an avenue for risk-averse and hard-to-reach institutional investors to fund climate solutions. Recommendation number 4 is the result of a business survey to assess the degree of access and use of digital technologies, examine obstacles that hinder the use of internet and the adoption of digital technology, understand the benefits of using digital technologies, and finally gauge the level of and demand for digital skills among small businesses in French-speaking Africa. The survey found out that 1, technologies lower costs and increase sales. 2, advanced tools deliver real transformation. 3, high costs and low quality prevent deeper digitalization. 4, for small firms, more effective technological devices and data are unaffordable. And 5, digital tools simplify communication and enhance efficiency. Finally, at number 5 is the first economic governance report from UNECA that assesses the institutional architecture pledged by African governments to prevent illicit financial flows through corruption, money laundering, trade misinvoicing to move money illicitly, and tax fraud. The report recommends initiatives to strengthen this infrastructure and reflects on how effective existing interventions have been. This assessment found that although African governments have worked hard to put measures in place to fight illicit financial flows continue to thrive, and that multiple institutions are necessary to combat the ill practice. The report recommends strengthening currently weak and inadequate legal frameworks, mending government departments and agencies, institutional deficiencies, and better enforcing relevant laws. That's it. Have a wonderful week and goodbye.